Next video. In today's video I will show you how to embed a Godot game inside your Flutter application without using any third-party library. Like, firstly, if you don't know what is Godot, so Godot is a game engine, open source game engine, which can help you to develop both 2D as well as 3D games. I know 3D support is coming to Flutter via Impeller, but I think if you have extremely complex 3D game like a AAA game, you can do that in Godot. I think that would be very difficult to do via Flutter. So that's one thing. Secondly, this video is only for Android. I have not yet figured out how to do it for iOS. And the third thing, that is like, it's very like, I have tried this, but it's very difficult to embed a Godot game inside an existing Flutter screen. So what I will do is that I will open a new activity. So activity is a screen like on the native side of Android. So I will open a new activity and I will show that Godot game inside that particular activity. Like typically you will have to use frame layout and fragments to display a Godot game, but it was getting very difficult to do it in Flutter. Like, I have tried it, I couldn't figure it out. But if you know how to do it, do let me know in the comments. So yeah, let's get started. So firstly, what I will do is that I will have to create a new activity, right? So I will first show you how to do that. Okay, so what I will do is I have already created a video about this, like how to open a native activity from Flutter. So I will just copy paste a lot of code from that, but I will simultaneously explain it to you guys, and I will also explain the embedding of Godot inside Flutter. So first I will go to my lib. So I have already created this repo like previously. I will go to main.dart, and here I will just copy paste this my homepage stateful widget. Okay, and I will paste. So this is my Flutter application, by default whatever you get. Okay, and here I'll remove it, I'll paste it over here, then I'll remove this title. I'm not passing anything inside the constructor of my home page. And here you can see, like, I have created a method channel. So if you want a refresher on method channel, you can definitely watch my previous my video on how to open an activity via Flutter, or refer the Flutter's documentation. And here you can see I'm just created a text button, and inside that, on press of it, I'm just calling this method called invoke. So this will actually so we will have to write a code for this on the native side, which will open the new activity for us. Okay, now what you will have to do, you will have to open this Android folder inside Android Studio. I have already created that. I will go to app, I will go to Kotlin. So I'm using I think it should work on any Android Studio version. That's not an issue, like more or the recent. But I want to let you know that I'm using Godot's 4.2 version, in case if there is an updated version of 4.2 in the future. Do use that. So I will go to activity, empty views activity, and I will just name it as main activity 2. And you also need this layout file, and I'll just click on finish. Now it will create an activity for us. Now I will go to my repo again, and I will just copy paste the code on how to open a new activity from our main activity. Go to src main, I'll go to Kotlin, I'll go to main activity.kt, and here so this is like boilerplate code which you have to write for executing like for implement, like for writing native code. And here you can see we are using this intent to open the new activity as well. So I'll just copy paste this code. Okay, I'll go to main activity, and here I will just open this. Okay, I'll implement this Flutter engine. I need this method channel, as well as I have created this. So here you can see I'm just navigating to the new activity once this open screen button is pressed. So that part is done. Now what you'll have to do, you'll have to go to your app again, create new folder, assets folder, click finish. So inside this assets folder will our Godot game will be present. So what I will do quickly is that I will open my Godot engine editor, and I will create a new game for this. I will open my Godot game, and like I have just created one project, not game, and inside that I have added this GLB model. So what I will do inside my game is that I will just create a 3D game, and inside that I will show a GLB model. So if you don't know GLB, it is like a 3D model which you like used to display 3D model inside your games. And if you want to know more about how to embed games inside the Android folder, you can refer this documentation. What I have done is that I have created small snippets of this documentation so that I don't have to read this while showing it to you guys. So here you can see that I have created a lot of this like helpful stuff, so I can just easily copy paste it inside my code. Also, when you create your project, here you can see I have created my Godot project inside the assets folder. Make sure you don't create any subfolder. All the files of your Godot project should directly be inside the assets folder, so be careful with that. Next, so I will just follow whatever I have written. If you want, you can follow the Godot library documentation as well, but I don't want to waste your time by just reading out the documentation and copying it slowly by slowly. So here inside main activity, sorry, not main activity, here inside activity 2, you will have to copy this. Once you copy this, okay, so we have already copied this stuff. Next, I will have to add this dependency inside my build.gradle file. So as I told you, like I am using Godot 4.2, but if there is any latest version, like in future there might be some other version of Godot, so you will have to update this library as well. Wait, let me find where exactly it is. Okay, so here you will have to go build.gradle of module app, and here you will have to add this our library. So I will just add this. So currently it is 4.2.0, but do check. So this library will be available on Maven Central, so you can copy paste whatever is the current version, but at the time of recording this video, it is 4.2.0. Next, we have to copy this. We need to copy this because otherwise during release time there might be some issues with our Android project ignoring those dot or hidden files inside our Godot game. So here inside default config, you will have to add this. In the Godot documentation, they have specified that use AAPT options, but that is deprecated. That's why I'm using Android resource. To click on sync now, so this will add all the dependencies which we require. Next, inside our inside our layout, we will have to do this, like we will have to create a frame layout. So what I will do, I will go here, res layout activity underscore main 2. I will go to code, and I will make sure that I occupy the entire width and height, but if you want, you can change the width and height to whatever you feel is okay. And I have just added this ID as well. Next, I will add a constraint layout, constraint start. Okay, I've got this parent, then constraint end, I got this parent, constraint top to top of parent, and constraint bottom to bottom of parent, so that it occupies the entire width and height. All right, next what it says, so ignore this button but this buttons for now. So this logic was to send some data from our native Android side to Godot side and vice versa, but I don't want to complicate this tutorial. Next, what I will do, I will just extend this Godot host inside our main activity 2. So here you will have to go to here, Godot host. Okay, I will just import this, then I will import it over here as well. Next, I will just have to create this Godot fragment. So this was the difficult part of embedding inside an existing Flutter screen. That's why I had to create a different activity. And next, I will just copy paste this code from here. So this is kind of like creating a fragment from a frame layout. So here, and this should be your ID which you have defined it over here. So my ID is this, that's why I'm using it over here as well as over here. Next, you can ignore this for now. I will just copy paste this too as well. We already have the methods, but we had to write this implementation, so I will just copy paste it. Next, what we have to do, I think we can ignore this. Okay, we can ignore this as well. Okay, we have already created our Godot game. Now you have to go to your Godot project. So I will create a simple game, a simple, not even game, like just a 3D model viewer, but you can create whatever you want. So I will just click on 3D scene. I will click on this options menu. I will click add sun to scene and add environment to scene. Next I will click on this plus button. I will click on this camera 3D. Okay, and I'll make sure I'll move the camera out over here. Here you can see I have added this apple.glb, like I have told you, I have downloaded it from KennyNL. So you can use any gltf model or glb model which you want to do. Next I will just save it, so control s, will save it as it is. Then I will click over here, I will click on this script button. I will create a script for it. Now I will just copy paste this code. Like I am no expert in Godot, so this code will basically render your glb model inside your Godot game. Okay, so but you can change whatever you want to, it's your game. So here, okay, I will remove this because that was unnecessary code. So here you can see that we have a glb model of apple, so I have just named it as it is. And here what this happens is that it rotates our apple glb model every frame. Okay, and here is the implementation of loading our gltf. I will remove this because our gltf model is present inside the res:// folder, so we don't have to write that. I will save this. Okay, next I will go to project settings, and here you will have to search for window, and make sure like now again this depends on you what width and height you want to set. So I will just set it as 400 and I'll set this as 1200. Okay, and also you will have to set the orientation. I will set it as portrait. If you are keeping this as landscape, make sure you change it on the native Android side as well. So I'll click on close. Now I'll just see whether the project is running or not. So you can just click on the play button. I will click on select current. I'll just see. So this will open. So this is running properly inside Godot. So here you can see the Apple GLB model rotating. Now a few other changes which I had to make because I am using Android Studio Hedgehog and it requires at the like the maximum target HDK to be 34. So what first you have to do is you will have to, so this has nothing to do with the Hedgehog, but you will have to add this parent theme as no action bar over here. So this can be found inside styles.xml. Both of these files you will have to change. So here you can see I have changed it over here as well as over here. So you will have to change this. Next you will have to go to android manifest.xml and you will have to add it as a theme to style launch theme inside for your main activity too. Next you will have to go to build.gradle.kts, and here as you can see the compile HDK version I have set it to 34, and also mean HDK version is I have set it to 23 because Godot requires at least 21, but just to be on the safer side I have set it as 34. Target HDK version I have set it as, sorry, mean HDK is 23, target is 34. And also make sure you are using all these dependencies as well. And inside this build.gradle I have updated the Kotlin version to 1.8.20. yeah, I think that should be it. So here you can see this is my app running on my real Android device. Don't test it on an emulator, you might get bad experience. Now what I will do, I will click on this open button. So here you can see it displays a black screen at the start because we are running in debug mode and the performance is not up to the mark. Also my Android device is quite old. So but here you can see our Godot game being embedded inside a Flutter application. You can see the apple which is rotating. Also I'm like mirroring my device, so the output might be a little blaggy because I have connected via Wi-Fi debugging. That's it. Like you can refer to the Godot documentation on how to optimize your Godot game so that you remove unnecessary there are some unnecessary engine code which gets bundled up, but you don't require all this because our game is very simple. Now it will depend on your complexity of your game, but yeah, that's how it is. I think the performance would be much better on OnePlus or a Pixel device as well as in release mode. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.